Hey everybody, what we're going to be tying today is an S&M Nymph. It's a little pattern developed by a fellow named Hogan Brown. It's a fly tire designer supreme from California. So anyway, let's get started here. So what we've got is a nymph hook, size 14. What I usually tie it in is a 16, 14, 16, and 18. For a bead, I've got a tungsten 2.4 millimeter black nickel bead. In this case it's by Big T Fly Fishing. For the tail, I've got some fibers from a Cote de Leon fiber feather. Okay, the ribbing will be ultra wire brown. This is small. All right. The body will be thread, which is brown uni 8/0. We'll have Awesome Possum, and also Ostrich Herl. Then the shell casing will be a Goose Bite Rusty Brown. Okay, and then the wings will be Midge Flash. So let's get going. Now I've got the fly in the vise already, and the hook in the vise and the thread on the fly. So let's get going. Now we're going to wrap back to about the barb of the hook here. And at this stage, what we're going to do is we're going to take this Cote de Leon feather, and we're just going to take 5 or 6 little fibers out of it, just stand them on their end. Just going to cut it right out. Now for the tailing, you can use all kinds of things. You can use mallard flank if you wish. Use Hungarian partridge, just depending upon how you want it to look. Okay. So I'm going to take these fibers, roughly even, about the length of the hook, maybe a little bit less. And we're just going to tie these in right here, rolling them up on top of the hook. Okay. I use a couple of wraps like this. I'm going to pull that forward a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to wrap right up to the head. Now, you want to keep this body thin. It's a real thin profile nymph. Okay. So now we're going to take our wire and we're going to tie that on the far side. Okay. And wrap it. Just keep it in place and wrap it right along the side there. This will give you a better profile. Okay. Once we're back to the back, we're just going to come forward, just make a thread body even. A little bit of taper, not much. Okay. And we're just going to take and we're going to wrap this wire. Alright. Tie that little boy off. A couple, 3 wraps right over it. Just going to take and helicopter it off. Set that aside for a few more flies to tie. Okay. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to tie in a bite. Now, if you wish, you can wet it down for a little bit. I really don't see on something like this where we're just going to fold it over. We really need to do that, but we're going to take, so we got the feather like this. We're just going to take, you'll have a concave side, and I put the concave side facing up. Okay, you notice there's a little difference in color there where the dye got, so it's a little darker on this outer edge here. So we're just going to take, put it in, pull that back just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Trim that excess off here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a fiber from this ostrich herl. Let me just get it cut here. And we're going to tie this in right here. Now, a lot of these little mayfly nymphs have gills, so what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 or 4 wraps just right here. Imitate those gills. Okay, I'm going to tie that off. Just like that. And we've still got a little room here that we're going to dub the thorax. So I'm going to take just a little tiny bit of this awesome possum dubbing. Not much. And we're just going to take a little bit, wrap it on this hook or the thread. Okay. Gain a little control. I'm just going to wrap it just like this. Okay. So the next step is we're going to take a couple strands of the crystal flash or the midge flash. And when I'm using this stuff, I'll just clip it off and tie it. So let me get a couple strands out here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie, I actually got 3. So we're going to tie that in right behind the bead. Tie the near side first. Right. And I'm going to adjust that right now. The length I want pretty much. There we go. Alright. And I'm going to just wrap over and do this. Take a couple wraps. Trim to the length that makes you happy. Then we're going to take, let's see where we're at right now. I'm going to take this right here. I'm just going to fold that bite over. Okay. Okay. I'm going to tie it down now. See, it's off to one side, so I'm just going to adjust that before I crank on it. There we go. A couple 3 wraps right over the top of it, one underneath it, trim. Okay, and whip finish. Okay, trim that off, and I'm going to trim those wings to equal, more or less equal length. Okay, now the last little thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little UV resin and just put it on the shell back there. That's just to strengthen it up a little bit. Get it with that. Turn the light on it. Okay. There you go. S&M Nymph. Enjoy.